FTX raised $900 million in a Series B announced yesterday, valuing the crypto exchange at $18 billion. That's just crazy. The previous record holder by most accounts for the largest crypto raise was $440 million by Circle earlier this year. So doubling that, quite impressive. Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX crypto trading empire continues to grow. And the thing that stands out to me here is that investors clearly think there's another Coinbase in the making out here, right? There's room for another big centralized exchange to serve the market, and Coinbase is not going to be the only one to do it. So we're seeing that now in this funding round, people putting some serious money behind their conviction that this company could be extremely valuable one day. I'm going to throw this to Ben off the top. Why are these numbers so big? They just make all the other stuff look so small. Why? What? Like what? What's the secret? What's the secret?
They definitely do. Like when I see like funding rounds like 20 million tops for like privacy tech or something, I get real excited. Even like 6 million. But obviously, this is what people are interested in from the VC perspective. This is what they want to raise money on. I think that they saw what Coinbase did. They're interested in it. But at the same time, I think you can't discount this not only from like the volume at which they're trading, which is obviously a lot, but all of the high-profile connections that SBF has been developing. Right, like the Miami Heat, Tom Brady, like all these other people. Like he's been out, he's been in public, he's been talking, and really kind of, I think, eased, any investor's sort of qualms or minds, just showing like how he thinks about this issue and also the prospect of where this could go. Obviously FTX, I believe, just recently started looking at a US kind of branch in some ways. Fact check me on that if I'm wrong. But, right now I think there's a lot of expansion potential, and obviously VCs think the same, but it also points to like these huge funding rounds that we've been seeing in what is like supposedly a downturn in the market. So again, I think that's always interesting to point out when we're talking about this, because this is acting differently than kind of previous behaviors during what some will call a bear market.
Yeah, for sure. So there is FTX US that serves US customers, and then FTX based out of Hong Kong, or most of the staff is based out of Hong Kong, serves global markets. Really interesting to see, and sort of suggests, I think the thing between the lines that I'm interested in is sort of, it's always been a two-horse race between Coinbase and Binance. And given Binance's recent regulatory trouble, I think investors are betting that maybe FTX becomes the second horse in that race, and only time will tell. But it seems to be that some folks are placing their bets on centralized exchanges in the hands of Sam Bankman-Fried. I did want to talk to David about this sort of regulatory angle here. I know you were kind of curious about where they fit in amid this sort of global ramp up in regulatory awareness. What's your thought on that?
Nuanced on FTX, but they are really equivalent to Binance in the sense that they're domiciled internationally. At least at a point, they were headquartered in Hong Kong. I'm not sure if that's still true. And they don't officially serve U.S. clients because they're not regulated in the same way Coinbase is. I guess my main takeaway from that is just that Coinbase has obviously shown that being regulated has a huge amount of value in the equities market, because their valuation was $83 billion. Obviously, they're more evolved, but that does seem like a notable factor in that divergence. The other thing I would point out while I have the mic is that the cash element of this seems almost as notable to me as the valuation. 900 million on 18 billion. I don't have stats or anything to cite, but that's a lot based on that valuation. Just for comparison, Robinhood is gearing up for its IPO, and they're looking to raise, I think, about 2 billion from the public on a 33 billion valuation. Or I'm sorry, I messed that up. They completed their IPO and raised about 2 billion, I think. So usually that proportion is smaller earlier in the VC process. So it seems notable that there's that much cash involved here as well.
Yeah. I'll throw it to Jen, but quick note on that. Just quick note on Sam Bankman-Fried being coy on the public listing front. No imminent plans there, but they are prepared and ready in case they decide to go for it. So should that be the next development with FTX, could be quite interesting. But Jen, take it.
Yeah. So $900 million, the story said they're going to focus on new products. Is there any indication as to where they're going next? I mean, I feel like FTX made a big splash in the sports world. They've invested a lot in sponsorship deals and advertising. And is there any indication as to what they're going to spend this money on?
Global domination, growth, and expanding their presence. I think
Taking
that's pretty
over
much it.
the world.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, FTX US especially is still a relatively small piece of the pie when it comes to exchange volume. So they've clearly been investing in getting that name out there. And it'll be interesting to see if further investments follow this mega infusion of capital.